Did you know that ants can travel up to 10 miles in search of food? Well, there are some amazing migration facts about ants that you probably didn't know. So let's get started. Number 1, they migrate in massive colonies. When it comes to moving from one place to another, ants don't do it alone. They travel in massive colonies consisting of thousands, even millions of individuals. For example, the Eciton burchellii, also known as the army ant, is a nomadic ant that migrates in massive columns that can stretch for hundreds of meters. These columns contain thousands of workers and can travel up to 2 kilometers per day in search of food. Another example is the leafcutter ant, which also migrates in large groups. These ants travel at night and can cover up to 100 meters per hour. The leafcutter ants communicate with each other through pheromones and follow a well-defined path. This allows them to quickly and efficiently move from one foraging site to another. But why do these ants migrate in such large numbers? Well, it has to do with their foraging strategy. By traveling in groups, ants are able to quickly clear an area of its food sources. They can also defend themselves against predators by overwhelming them with sheer numbers. And when they find a new food source, they can quickly bring the rest of the colony to exploit it. Number 2, ants prepare for migration in advance. Ants don't just set off on a migration journey on a whim, they prepare for it in advance. In fact, some species of ants can spend months preparing for their annual migration. How do they do this? Well, one of the ways they do this is by gathering food. Before they set off on their journey, ants will gather food and store it in their nest. This food will sustain them during the migration and help them to survive until they can find new food sources at their destination. Ants also prepare for migration by sending out scouts. Scouts are special ants that are responsible for finding new nest sites and food sources along the migration route. Once the scouts have found suitable areas, they return to the nest and communicate the information to the rest of the colony through pheromones. Pheromones are chemical substances that ants release into the air or onto surfaces to communicate with other ants. In some species of ants, a pheromone trail is left behind by ants as they move through the environment. This pheromone trail acts as a guide for other ants, allowing them to follow their nest mates to food sources or other desirable locations. Once the ants have gathered enough food and scout routes have been established, it's time for the colony to move. The ants will leave their old nest and start their journey to the new one, carrying their eggs and larvae with them. The entire colony will move in a single mass, with the workers in the front and the queen in the center. No, 3. The logistics of ant migration are incredible. The logistics involved in ant migration are truly incredible. These tiny creatures have to carry their eggs, larvae, and food with them, and they do it all without getting lost. How do they do it? Well, it starts with the preparation of the nest. Before the ants leave, they designate a portion of the nest as the brood chamber. This is where they will carry their eggs and larvae during the migration. The workers will then take turns carrying the brood, with each ant carrying as many eggs and larvae as it can manage. Once the ants are ready to move, they will follow a pheromone trail that has been laid down by scout ants. This trail will lead them to a new nest site that has been identified as suitable for raising a colony. Along the way, the ants will stop to forage for food so that they can sustain themselves and their young during the journey. The incredible thing about ant migration is that the ants are able to maintain the integrity of their colony while traveling. They do this by sticking together and following each other closely. This ensures that no ants get left behind and that the colony remains intact. Number 4, the choice of destination is crucial. The choice of destination is crucial for the success of any migration, and ants are no exception. When it comes to selecting a new nest site, ants are looking for a location that is safe, accessible, and close to food sources. Safety is obviously an important consideration for ants. They want to be in a place where they are protected from predators and the elements. Accessibility is also important because ants need to be able to get in and out of their nest easily. If the entrance to the nest is too small or too narrow, it could be difficult for the ants to move in and out, which could make it difficult to find food or escape from predators. Proximity to food sources is also important. Ants need to be close to food in order to survive. If the new nest site is too far away from food, the ants may not have enough time to gather enough food before they die. The good news is that ants are highly adaptable and can make the best of whatever situation they find themselves in. Even if the new nest site is not ideal, the ants will still try to make it work. They will build new chambers, establish new foraging routes, and continue to thrive. Thanks for watching. Do you know any other amazing migration facts about ants? Share them with us in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more nature videos.